most amazing artists. I hope you are having an awesome day today. Let's finish up our beautiful rainbow wall hangings. The last time that we talked about this on this channel, we hadn't even fired it yet. We just created it using our clay. And since then, we have painted these, and we didn't glaze them. We actually used a different kind of paint called Jazz Gloss paint, and it makes it really shiny and gorgeous. And we used some sparkly white paint on our clouds. But you could have painted this any color that you want to. I wanted to stick to the rainbow theme, and what I've done here is I took some twisty wire, and I have put wire on the top, and I just added some beads to have like a little decorative element on the actual hanging part of this wall hanging. So now we're going to learn how to tie a knot today, because we still have these holes down here at the bottom, and we're going to add yarn to the bottom of our rainbow, and then we will be finished. To do this, the only knot that you're going to need to know how to do is a double knot. And a double knot is just two single knots on top of one another. So I'm going to show you how to do that today. So I have my wall hanging ready to have the yarn put on, and I have a variety of colors. I want to stick to the rainbow theme because I got my rainbow colors, I got my rainbow beads up here, so I want my yarn to stay a rainbow as well. So I'm going to go in rainbow order. So I have every color of the rainbow over here, but maybe if you have white clouds down here at the bottom, you just want to use white yarn to match your clouds. That's an option, or you could just be random and do whatever colors that your heart desires. Okay, but once you have your yarn picked out, we are ready to get started. I know the first color of the rainbow is red, so I'm going to start with my red color. And I'm going to start over here on the left side. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to take my yarn and I'm going to put it right in that first hole, and then it's going to come out from the back side, and I'll pull it through. Now this is still very fragile, so we need to be careful while we are adding our yarn today. Don't drop it on your table. Try your best not to drop it on the floor because it could shatter to a million pieces, and we don't want that. So I put my red all the way through, and it's pretty long, so I'm going to bring it down so you can see that I have two tails now. Okay, these are called tails of yarn. I have 1, 2 tails down here, and I pulled them so that they are the same length. Okay, that means I don't have one that's really long and one that's really short. I kind of want them to be the same length. Okay, and I'm going to do this flat on my table. I recommend that you do it flat on your table too, so then we have less of a chance of dropping our rainbow. And what I'm going to do, now that my tails are the same length, one is not shorter than the other, I am going to cross one over the other. And that makes a plus sign, or it makes an X, just like that. And the yarn piece that's underneath is going to come up, and it's going to go in this opening. You see, we've made an opening here. We're going to put this piece of yarn inside of that opening. We're going to go underneath and pull it through, and that makes your knot. And then you're going to take both of your tails and you're going to pull until it goes all the way to the top. Now that, my friends, is a single knot. We want to do a double knot, and just like I said a second ago, a double knot is two single knots on top of each other. So I'm going to do the same thing again. I'm going to cross one tail over top of the other one, creating a plus sign or the letter X. And then I'm going to take the other tail, put it inside of this opening here, and pull it underneath that piece. And then take your two tails inside of your fingers and pull, 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 pull until it goes all the way to the top. And I'm going to tighten it up here by just pulling on those two tails to make sure my yarn is nice and secure. So there is my red piece done. We're going to do the same thing, do double knot for each of these holes at the bottom of our rainbow. So my next color is orange because that's the next color in the rainbow, but remember, you could do any color that you want to. And I'm going to go to the next hole. I'm going to take one end of my yarn here, and I'm going to put it inside of that hole. And once it starts coming out of the bottom of my rainbow. I'm gonna pull it through. Now I have this red kind of in my way, so I'm just gonna pull it off to the side so it's not in my way anymore. And then I wanna make sure my two tails are the same length. So I'm gonna keep pulling until my orange tails here are the same. One is not shorter than the other, and I'm ready to start my double knot. And a double knot is 2 single knots, so I'm going to cross one over the other to make a plus sign or the letter X. Then I'm gonna take the other tail, put it in this opening that we just made and pull it underneath. And then take both of your tails and pull, pull, pull until it gets to the top or the bottom of your cloud. And then that's just a single knot, so we need to do it one more time for a double knot. Cross it over, take the other tail, put it in that hole, and then pull your tails until they go all the way up to the top. That's a double knot now, so I'm going to tighten it just a little bit. And now I have my red and my orange done. And it's starting to look really, really cool. This whole thing is starting to come together, and I'm so excited. So I'm going to do this for every single one of the holes down here at the bottom of my rainbow. And I'm gonna go in rainbow order, but you can do whatever colors you wanna do. Just make sure that while you're doing this, you're making sure your tails are the same length. Almost. It doesn't have to be perfect because, you know, we're human and we make mistakes sometimes. We're just gonna go with the flow, but try your best to make them almost the same length down here. And make sure you're doing a double knot on each one. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and speed this up a little bit because I think you guys are catching on. It might be a little bit tricky at first when you're first getting started, but the more that you practice this and the more yarn that you're tying onto your rainbow, the better you will get. Trust me, you are gonna be an expert at tying knots by the end of this. So I'm gonna go ahead and speed this up, and I'll be right back to show you what my final rainbow wall hanging looks like. Just finished tying all of my yarn to the bottom of my rainbow, and I had one extra space down here, so I decided to put pink. And all of my yarn pieces are kind of different lengths, and you can keep it like that, but my purple is like super duper long. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take a pair of scissors, and I am just going to cut them all about the same length. Now yours can be different lengths, or you can take some scissors, and to do this I'm just laying it down flat, kind of combing it out with my fingers, and then I'm going to take my scissors and I'm just going to cut a straight line across each of my yarn pieces to kind of make them even. But like I said, you can keep yours at different lengths if you like the way that that looks. Remember, tying knots can be very tricky at first, and the real learning with tying knots is actually practicing it yourself. So you might fail a couple of times at first, but just keep on going, don't give up. If you end up getting a little bit frustrated with your knot tying, then maybe that's a sign that we need to take a couple minutes and just breathe and relax, and then we can come back to the knots once you're ready. But I hope you guys do have a lot of fun finishing up your rainbow wall hangings today. I seriously cannot wait to see how they turn out. I know they're going to be amazing because you guys are amazing. All right, I'll see you guys next time. Bye guys.